Welcome back to Markets and Macros. Still quiet for the market, so let's shift focus away from equities and talk about personal finance for a bit. Harshvardhan Rungta of Rungta Securities joins us now. The new year began with the introduction of direct plans for mutual funds. So this would mean that investors can directly invest with fund houses and may not need to go through the route of either brokers or distributors. Of course, this has its own pros and cons. Harshvardhan, can you take us through the fine print of what these plans are and how much do retail investors really benefit from this? Because, you know, when you go through a broker or a distributor, you get access to a lot of information, a lot of research, a lot of logistics are sorted out as well that benefit investors who don't have time to do this research. What could the pros and cons look like with this direct investment?
Well, absolute right, Sonia. From 1st January 2013, under the directives of SEBI, all fund houses have now launched the direct plans. So, any investor who wishes to invest directly and does not want to use the services of an advisor can now, take the benefit of this direct plan and invest into them. The direct plans are going to have a lower expense ratio, which is going to be reflected in the NAV of the fund. So we will see that going further, the NAV of a direct plan will be slightly higher, the returns will be slightly better, marginally better to the extent of the expense ratio, which is not going to be levied on to the direct plans. Now these are going to be in the range of about 50 basis points. Now for understanding purposes, let us also know, all the schemes virtually are going to be offered under the direct plan, excepting for the ETFs. All the exchange traded funds are not going to be offered under direct plans, nor are those schemes which have been closed for further subscription. Now, if you have to understand the implication of this on, on investors, let's just split the investors under two categories. The first category would be anybody who wants to make a fresh investment, a new investment here on. So he needs to go and procure the application forms, do his KYCs. He needs to, the AMCs and the registrars will help them, absolutely for this purpose. So they have to do all that. Just have to remember that if they're making an application, they have to suffix the plan name with a direct plan. Now, if an investor wants to make an investment into an ABC equity fund, he needs to make sure and mention a direct plan as a suffix to this application. Okay. The reason being, if he misses out on doing that, the investment will be considered under the regular plan, and he will be levied. The expense ratio will be much higher for that. Now, if you look at investors who are already having investments in mutual funds. Now, the first point is that if they switch their investments from the regular plan to the direct plan, it has to be noted very clearly that there is going to be an exit load if the investments qualify for that exit load. So for the investments, equity investments made in the last 1 year, there is going to be an exit load levied onto them. The second implication is going to be that there is also going to be an income tax implication on the switch. It will be considered as if you're redeeming from one scheme and investing into the other scheme. So if there is a short-term capital gains or a long-term in a debt fund, there are going to be income tax implications, so which has to be kept in mind by the investor. The third point is that if there is a dividend reinvestment option that you've chosen for any of your investments, and you switch your base money into the direct plan, if there is a dividend reinvestment and a dividend is announced, the reinvestment will be made into the regular plan. So these smaller, finer points you need to keep in mind in case an investor wishes to switch from the regular plans to the direct plans. If you just do the benefit in monetary terms, if you're asking, the benefit, if you do a back of the envelope calculation, if a 1 lakh rupee has been invested for 5 years, and we assume a 12% return just for calculation purposes, the 1 lakh as a lump sum after 5 years would be about 1,76,000 under the regular plan. And if you consider this under direct plan where 50 basis points is going to be charged lesser to the fund, the returns and the corpus that will be accumulated after 5 years will be about 1,80,000 rupees. So there is a marginal difference of this kind of returns that you will see. Direct plans will offer slightly higher returns because on account of a lower expense ratio. So a couple of smaller finer prints, if an investor can take care of himself, as you rightly pointed out, Sonia, that if an investor does not want the advice of an advisor, or it does not require any guidance from the advisor, no research, it does not want to avail of any of these things, then it may make sense for him to go. But all those people who are not equipped enough to handle and manage their investments on their own, to take a call on rebalancing, to do a asset allocation, if that is not possible, should still consider availing the services of an advisor and and decide whether
Now, Harsh, you know, for those rebalancing, you would normally take the advice of a financial planner. You wouldn't take your mutual fund DSA such advice. I have a very specific question on what is the math if you want to switch on existing investments to the direct plan. Let us assume you have an investment of say 1 lakh in a plan already. At the moment, what is the kind of money you will lose? And will it make sense like in the next 2 years I'll make up that money?
See, now, Lata, you got a very valid point. Answering the first question, yes, you would take an advice of a financial planner to do this exercise. So, most of the financial planners, if I understand, have some kind of a tie-up wherein they manage the portfolio as well. So, I was referring to a case wherein a financial planner, we're not talking about DSAs of just as a distributor. Obviously, that part he's not going to probably add any value. Now, coming to the second question as to exactly how much is a person going to gain out of this exercise, is that first, if you're going to switch 1 lakh from your existing plan to direct plans, there are some implications which I've just mentioned. Yeah. There's an exit load which you will have to consider. There is an income tax implication which you will have to keep in mind. So, assuming that it's an old investment where an exit load is not going to be levied and you have a long-term capital gains which is tax-free, then certainly you would want to shift into the direct plans. Now, the implication, as I said, there would be a 50 basis points which you will earn extra onto the direct plan. This is just the effect of the direct plan not levying that 50 basis points.
Yeah, I get your point. I guess we will have to make the calculation depending on whether you have a capital gain on it or so it will be different for different plans. Let's take a break. There are viewers lined up with questions.